The student that I focused on in my fieldwork case study is a 6-year-old Caucasian male attending early elementary school in Muskegon. He is a general population student and no diagnosis is known. He maintains friendships with 3 other students in the class, and the expectations of those friends is for him to play at recess with them as well as interact during class. The expectations of the teacher include following directions, displaying appropriate behaviors, respecting his classmates, and respecting her. Client factors and limitations contributing to his handwriting deficits included lack of control of voluntary movement, unstable fine motor control, lack of knowledge of full alphabet, lack of letter recognition. The student's interests include playing games on his phone, watching YouTube videos and television, specifically Paw Patrol, and jumping on the trampoline with his brothers. Performance skills and limitations that were noted include awkward body positioning, uncoordinated movement, inability to endure long-standing movements, inconsistent manipulation of objects as their size varied, and inconsistent grasp patterns. And those were the motor skills. Now for the process skills, some of the limitations included lack of attention, lack of initiation, inconsistent termination of tasks, which was often premature cessation of activities. For his social interaction skills, they included inaudible speech, inconsistent eye contact, and impulsive behaviors. So the student's occupations, since he was only 6 years of age, full awareness of his occupations was absent. However, due to my observations and his input, I was able to gain pieces of information here and there. So for his ADLs, he is able to brush his teeth on his own as well as dress successfully. He can also feed himself. For IADLs, he is unable to prepare meals but capable of cleaning up food and utensils once he's done. He may need reminders on occasion as well. Sleep participation, that may be infrequent at times due to continuous desire to play and use his phone. For formal education, he participates in academic activities like reading and organized classroom activities. He also participates in non-academic activities, which would include recess. For leisure, activities have not been established quite yet, but he's acquired interests of trucks and welding. So now getting on to the short-term goals and long-term goals. Because my fieldwork placement was at Orchard View Elementary School, there was not an OT, so these goals were not established. So the first thing that I did with him was conducted the writing assessment. After conducting the assessment, I identified the following limitations: hand stability, letter recognition, and spatial awareness. However, the student had already refined his grasp of the pencil, which was the tripod grasp. So now getting on to the interventions. In order to work on the student's fine motor movement, I recalled the statement, proximal stability equals distal mobility. So as a preparatory activity, the student worked on his gross motor mobility. He took part in an activity that required him to demonstrate different fun actions. So some of these actions included jumping up and down, hopping like a frog, shaking his whole body, walking like a bear on all fours, which would help with his weight bearing on his arms, contributing to the distal control as well. Next, I designed the fundamental interventions around his interests to increase his motivation when participating in handwriting activities. So the activity that I chose to demonstrate requires a white paper, markers, a rubber band, as well as a toy truck. This can be bought from like the dollar store or anything of that sort. So first, the marker must be attached to the truck with a rubber band. So I will demonstrate how to do that. So first you're going to take the rubber band, put it around the truck, go to the back, and then next you take the marker and you are going to stick it through the opening in the back. And then it can also be wrapped around once more just to make sure that it's secure. You could also do multiple markers at the same time if you have a large enough rubber band. Kids seem to find that pretty fun when they're able to use the different markers. Make sure it's wrapped on there nice and tight. So now that that has happened, we're going to push the marker all the way up so the bottom of the marker is in line with the car wheels. Now I would show him the letter that we would be practicing. I would write a letter A just with a regular pencil and show him the different steps of the formation of it. And then next after that, he would use my example to form the letter on a separate page. So on his piece of paper, in order to form the letter, he would use the truck and move it across the paper in order to form the letter. So say that we were working on the letter A, he would remove the cap. He would move it like so. There's one line. Then he may have to pick up the truck, and then he can go down. He's got to be careful because sometimes the marker doesn't catch. It may also help to push on it. And then after that, you draw the line in the middle. So this activity is a little more fun than just using a marker or a pencil in order to write the letters. He also had interests in playing with Play-Doh. So we had incorporated Play-Doh as well as some small rocks from the dollar store. He would also be able to use the truck with that too. Placing the letters in the Play-Doh, or placing the rocks in the Play-Doh along the lines of the letter or whatever it was. And then when he would go to pick up the rocks, he could use the truck to place the rocks in there and then to dump it out in the rock bag. And then just to begin again. So then we would just go through the entire alphabet with this activity, go from A to Z just so he gets this basic understanding of the alphabet. So overall, within the 11 or so weeks that I was at my placement, I recognized a large development in his fine motor skills. Although there were still a few problems with his spatial awareness, he did greatly improve with his letter recognition as well as his hand stability. And that is all.